Stonefish is what you don't see coming that can drastically change your life.
It's asking people what their reaction would be if they found out that someone they loved was capable of something evil.
This is about people who really don't communicate with each other the way they should.
And how much you can forgive, how much you should forgive, and how much forgiveness has to be A, desired, and B, earned.
This is one of those plays that I think does what theater should do, which is spark a conversation or make you go home and pick up the phone and call somebody and say, I needed to tell you that I loved you.
Stonefish at the Greenbelt Arts Center, January 11, 12, 18, and 19 at 8 p.m. Matinees on the 13th and the 20th at 2 p.m. Visit greenbeltartscenter.org or call the box office at 301-441-8770.
Hi, and thanks for joining us for another What's Coming Up Next at the Old Greenbelt Theater. We're joined as usual by Kelly, and she's here to tell us what is going to come up in the movies and what's coming up for the specialty series for this next week. So Kelly, let us know.
Well, we're in for another week of Mary Queen of Scots, and it's been going great. People have had lovely things to say about the movie, so we're holding it over one more week. So this is your very, very, very last chance to see Mary Queen of Scots. If you've been waiting, wait no more.
Worth it to see in theaters because Saoirse Ronan really kills it in this movie.
She really does. She really does. So this is your last week. If you've been waiting, stop waiting. Come out this week because it is going away after this week. And we are starting on Friday, January 11th. We will have On the Basis of Sex. It is the new biopic about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Some people have been saying they should have called it the Notorious RBG, the early years. It's Felicity Jones as RBG, and she is just on fire in this movie, and I'm so excited that we get to bring it here. I've been waiting for this movie, so as have a lot of people, so we're very, very excited.
This one looks great. I'm really excited to see it too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's starting on Friday, January 11th. So come see Mary Queen of Scots if you've been waiting, and
then right after.
And right after, make your plans to come see On the Basis of Sex. Yeah.
And so what else? You said there's all the new series are up on the online, and you're about to tell us about them too?
Yes, yeah. So all of our series, all your favorites, Stage on Screen, Monday Matinees, and our family series is now, we're calling it OGT Kids. And we have some great titles for you this spring. The first of our Monday Matinees is going to play on January 7th. It's always at 1 o'clock on Monday. And we've got An Affair to Remember from 1957. And these are our classic films. They're just wonderful movies. So we're going to kick it off with An Affair to Remember. We've got some great movies programmed for that. Our first OGT Kids movie this spring is going to be Pee-wee's Big Adventure from 1985, so my childhood. And that will be on Saturday, January 12th.
And that one's a Tim Burton movie, right?
It is a Tim Burton. It's one of his very first movies.
Always surprises me.
Yeah, I know, me too. I always forget that that's in his repertoire. And then we've got, for our Stage on Screen series, we have The Winter's Tale from Shakespeare's Globe. So it's theater that was live videotaped from the restored Globe Theatre in London. And it's just one of Shakespeare's kookiest, most mystical plays, and so we're really excited to bring that to everybody.
Good timing too.
Yes,
during the winter.
Yes, during the winter, yes. And so that will be playing Sunday, January 13th and Monday, January 14th. So check out our website. We've got all of those times on there, and all of the rest of the series are up there. I'm really excited about our OGT Kids series. We've just got some classics. We've got Jumanji.
Some of your favorites.
Some of my favorites from my childhood. We've got some great new groundbreaking animation, Japanese anime. We've got Song of the Sea, which is one of my all-time favorite, just stunning animation. So we've got so many great things planned for our family series.
Not
this
just for
spring.
kids, a lot of those.
Not
movies,
just for
too.
kids. Song of the Sea that came out in 2014. It's still one of my favorite animated films. So, and I was not a child then. So yeah, it's we've got some really great animation coming up.
So, do you guys have any more series that you guys do later on in the year?
So we do some specialty series on and off, so stay tuned and we'll see. We've done others in the past. We've done Science on Screen with documentaries about different issues in science. We've had Stranger Origins was one of our most attended series about the movies that kind of inspired the movie Stranger Things, or the Netflix series Stranger Things.
Wow.
So we've done a lot of different stuff. We did Leading Ladies for a while, so some of the best actresses of the silver screen era, you know.
I love these series that you guys are doing.
Yeah. So our staples are the Stage on Screen, the Monday Matinees, and OGT Kids. But we try and also bring other specialty curated things to everybody. So yeah,
Great.
just keep an eye on our website, keep an eye here. We'll watch this every week and you'll get the latest.
Yeah, all right, well, thank you so much again for watching, and thanks, Kelly, for telling us everything every week. And we hope to see you on the next one.
There are 178 laws that differentiate on the basis of sex. Women can't work overtime. We have to get credit cards in our husband's name. We're not allowed to work in mine.
This is a man's world. You think you can change the country? You should look to her generation. They're taking to the streets.
Protests are important, but changing the culture means nothing if the law doesn't change.
What did you say your name was?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I want to be a lawyer. I want to represent clients in pursuit of justice.
So they're gonna give you a corner office?
I wasn't what they were looking for. One said women are too emotional to be lawyers. Another told me a woman graduating top of her class must be a real ball buster. I worked hard. I did everything I was supposed to, and I excelled.
Martin Ginsburg will be signing all of our checks someday.
You're a smart girl, Ruthie. You married a star.
If the law differentiates on the basis of sex, then how will women and men ever become equals? I don't read tax court cases.
Read this one.
The law assumes a caregiver has to be a woman. This is sex-based discrimination against a man.
Poor guy.
We need to take this case.
This is not a case. This is a declaration of war.
It could topple the whole damn system of discrimination.
They think gender equality is a civil right. What's at stake is the American family. Let's put this idea to bed once and for all. You will lose. And when you do, you will set the women's movement back 10 years.
You don't get to tell me when to quit. I know this case disrupted our lives.
Who's it for, if not for me?
You can't knock me down.
You've been ready for this your whole life. So go in there and let the judges see the Ruth Ginsburg I know.
We're not asking you to change the country. That's already happened without any court's permission.
The word woman does not appear even once in the U.S. Constitution.
Nor does the word freedom, Your Honor.
I feel the fire begin to rise.
Gothic animation. Animation created by kids.
Since 1998, the Greenbelt Association for the Visual Arts, GAVA, and Greenbelt Access Television, GATE, have offered GAVA GATE animation classes for youth 10 and above. Our shorts have screened at more than 80 film festivals worldwide and have garnered many youth filmmaker awards. Winter classes start in January 2019. Contact Mr. Geo, George Koschel, Gates Animation Facilitator, for more information.
I've had feelings of anxiety and depression for most of my adult life. But when I suffered a panic attack and had thoughts of suicide this past spring, I knew I was in trouble and needed professional help. I'm sharing my story because I want to be a voice for those who may be struggling. You don't have to hit rock bottom before you reach out for help. I'm grateful to Greenbelt Cares for giving me the help that I need. Greenbelt Cares can be reached at 301-345-6660. The Prince George's County Crisis Hotline is 301-429-2185. So please reach out for help and get the help that you need and deserve, because your life matters too.
Mary Queen of Scots is a new film directed by Josie Rourke starring Saoirse Ronan as Mary and Margot Robbie as Queen Elizabeth I. The film is focused on Mary's life more than Elizabeth's, which seems obvious considering the film is called Mary Queen of Scots, but the back and forth at the beginning of the film makes it feel like we'll get a more evenly told story between each of them. I think this would have been a welcome change, but I don't fault the story for spending more of its time on the tragic titular queen. The movie starts the same way it ends, and while this is visually striking and a nice setup and payoff moment for the viewer, it feels like they had to rush through a lot of the end in order to make sure they landed in the right spot. To compare this story to a similar one about another tragic queen, something I really admired about Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette is it defies expectations in the end. If there's one thing most people know about Marie Antoinette's life, aside from let them eat cake, it's that her head was unceremoniously removed during the French Revolution. History spoiler. But that film focuses more heavily on exploring the complexity of Marie Antoinette as a character, rather than her death. I feel like this movie, while also focused on the characters for the most part, did itself a disservice by forcing the ending to be the one thing most of us already know about Mary Queen of Scots. On top of that, it doesn't focus on that part of the story enough, on the why of it all, for the ending to make sense, historically accurate or not. I was honestly left with almost as little understanding of the politics behind the decision as I started with. A lot of the early plot is well enough explained, whereas further on it loses focus and tries to fit a million of Mary's different misfortunes into the last half hour. I couldn't really feel the trauma of each individual event, and the ending had a lesser emotional impact because of that. Now, what I love about the film is this interplay between the two queens. They're the only people in the world who understand each other's struggle, both powerful female monarchs with an entire country to bear, while they also maintain a forced rivalry that exists on that exact same premise. Their performances and reinterpreted relationships are by far the best part of the film. Reinterpreted because Mary and Elizabeth never actually met in person. I have no qualms with retelling history through an unexplored perspective, even if that means making some changes to what's written. In fact, I really think the film shines in its eagerness to explore the feminine side of English history, a side with many blanks to fill in. Two women trying their best to have a diplomatic and peaceful reign, but obstructed by the bloodthirsty and insatiable men that surrounded them. The film doesn't frame the men sympathetically at all. Their relationship is complicated by their advisors, messengers, and right-hand men who have their own ambitions, while both queens face issues that mirror each other in their opposition. One queen doesn't trust men and can't produce an heir, the overtone being that's the only reason for a queen, whereas the other trusts easily and is burned for her open heart. Boiled down, they serve as beautifully explored, sympathetic representations of the oldest dichotomy of woman: the prude and the strumpet. Generally, they're pitted as opposites, against one another and forever at odds, but in this film, they constantly address one another as sister, recognizing that they're both just different sides of the same coin. In the end, I think I enjoyed the themes, performances, and juxtaposing imagery more than the plot. It could have done with more focus on specific events rather than a thin gloss over every event within the historical context. That made the political choices so much more confusing and left me with a continued bewilderment about the ending. Although, maybe that's just the nature of politics. I can't emphasize enough what a pleasure it is to watch Saoirse Ronan's acting in this. She really embodies that regal presence of a queen, while also giving her a playful and adventurous side that feels perfectly natural. Margot Robbie's performance is nothing to scoff at either, but I don't think her character was fleshed out enough to give her the chance to shine the way Ronan does. One feeling I was definitely left with was a reinforced disdain for monarchies, but maybe that's just me. Overall, an interesting film with some significance in our modern context, especially given the way it portrays a fraught relationship between two powerful women, something we don't often see. Worth seeing and analyzing, but I don't expect this to be a lasting film due to some of its pitfalls that leave it as more mediocre than it should have been. That's my take on Mary, Queen of Scots. See you next time!
Today, we bring you the first part of our global broadcast exclusive conversation.
The streets of Tahrir have once again been filled. People are chanting against Shafiq, chanting against the...
Key issues here at the United Nations Climate Change Conference remain unresolved, including the future of the Kyoto Protocol.
The forests of central India and the protesters in Wall Street are connected by a big pipeline.
Kenneth Chamberlain, the 68-year-old veteran, fatally shot by police in his own home.
He was proud to be a Marine.
At every block, police are saying to the protesters to move further and further away.
I'm Amy Goodman.
And I'm Juan Gonzalez.
And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!
Democracy Now! Plays on Gate at 7 p.m. every weekday and repeats at 10 p.m., midnight, and 8 a.m. Greenbelt Access Television, Comcast 77, Verizon 19. Have any comments or questions? Please contact us at greenbeltaccess@gmail.com or give us a call at 301-507-6581.
We've been decorating the house now. It's been over 30 years. I start in October because I like to do it when it's a little warmer. I'm not really a cold person.
Well, we had to put a shed in our backyard to hold all the decorations because they were in our house, in our closets, in our basement, and it got to be a little bit too much to handle.
Yes, we have the nativity scene. We've had that, over 30 years. So it's kind of nice to bring that out.
We had 9 reindeer, now we got 10.
And then we add new stuff. Every so many years we'll find something that we like.
Bring them in the house. We take them in the basement. I put them together. He helps a little bit to put them together, but he does the lights.
I like a lot of stuff that moves. I've got 3 different light shows going on. I've got the icicles that do a light show, and then I got a white light show that goes around the poles and the manger scene, and then I got a colored light show that goes around the whole house.
The Santa Claus that you see in the red sled is over 50 years old. It belonged to his mom, who originally started Christmas decorations, and that we took over to continue doing.
I like my red bow, and I like my blue tree. Those are my favorites.
The Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are 2 of our favorites. They're in the middle of the carriage and the castle that you'll see. Basically, just all the little decorations that we like to do.
Andy Z here with a Greenbelt Minute.
You're watching GATE, Greenbelt Access Television.
Verizon Fios, Channel 19, Comcast, Channel 77. Happy holidays.